So we have already seen that we have inserted the data. Let me get back to you here. So now I need to retrieve the data. I need to retrieve the data. Whenever I click on show the data, see, for example, I have inserted some 10 records. If I click on show the data, I can show the 10 records here, no problem for that. But if I'm having more than 100 records, 1000 records, 10,000 records, then how should I show the data here? Okay, so that is the reason we are going to have another screen. We are going to have another screen, or you may say another activity. So how do we create another activity? So in which application I am? Inside the my database. So right click on the my database application, new, other, Android activity, new, other, Android activity. Click on next, next. So as the main activity is already present, so it is giving me error here. So let me change the main to some data activity, some data activity. Click on finish, and there it is. We got our activity underscore data and main data activity dot java. Let's go to activity underscore data dot xml. So in the activity data dot xml, go to the code view here. So select all the code and delete the code. Delete the code. Now we have our graphical layout. So now inside the composite tab, where will be the list view? Inside the composite tab, we will be having list view. We will be having list view. Just drag and drop the list view. Drag and drop the list view. Once you drag and drop the list view, you will get the list view with its ID here. You will get the list view with its ID here. So I am going to edit the background here. Edit background. So I'm not having any code here. Let me go here once. So background hash some 234534. So I got some green color here. I got some green color here. So now go to get data activity here. So inside the data activity, I am going to insert the data activity. I am going to create the array list which is the data structure in which my data is stored. Array list. Array list. What type? String A. String A. Then before array list, so we need to have our list view. List view LV, some LV we can take. So whenever we are having list view and array list, we have to show the data that is coming into the array list inside the list view. So we need to have an adapter which adapts the data thing here. See here, array adapter. Array adapter. What type of data we are storing inside the array list? String. So here also it will be also string. We are going to use the adapter here. Okay, very good. Next, so we need to create object for db helper also. We need to create reference for db helper also. Okay, so now once declaration is over, so we are going to initialize the values. The first one is list view. List view. So what is the reference we have given for list view? LV equal to same, but how did we write for button? In the same way we have to write the, we need to find the view here. Find view by id r dot id dot list view 1, list view 1, and we need to cast the list view. We need to cast the list view. Okay, so now we should not have any listener here, don't worry about that one. So next one is we need to initialize the db equal to new db helper. Db helper. And inside this context, what we are going to write? We need to write data activity dot this. Data activity dot this. Okay, so now see here. So I need to get the data from the database. I need to get the data from the database. Let me show you how are we going to do that thing here. How are we going to do that thing here? Now inside the array list, I need to get the data. A equal to db dot get data. Get data. a equal to db dot get data, but I don't have any method got get data inside db helper class. So I'm going to create method data. So when we have an error here, when we place the cursor here, it gives us an option to create the get data method with our desired parameters and with our desired return type over there. So just click on this. Automatically we are going to get our public array list string get data method inside here. So what are we going to do here? So we are going to write some data here. Let me show you how we are going to get the data here. So we are going to get the data in the format of cursor. Let me show you. cursor c equal to cursor c equal to db dot. Okay, so whenever we are going to call some modification data statements, sorry about that, modification statements or upgrading statements, we are going to use exec method here. So but when we are going to get the data, so we need to use the raw query method. So the raw query methods will contain this double quotes and null for your selection arguments. Select star from, what is the table name? Student. Select star from student. So we got the data in the cursor. We are going to write something like if of c dot get count is greater than 0. If c dot get count is greater than 0, what are we going to do? We are going to get the data. So until when we are going to gather the information from there? So until we are not going to have the next row, so while of c dot move to next, while of c of move to next, so string name equal to c dot get string of 0. In the same way, string phone equal to c dot get string of 1. So we got our data here, and we need to add the data. Inside the array list. Of type string some a. So equal to new array list. Sorry, I forgot to mention this one before. So we need to create the array list so that we can add the data inside that one. So a dot add of name and phone. Name and phone with a new line inside. Okay, once this while loop is executed, what will happen? All the data inside the table are will be coming into this one. And we are going to return a. So else return null. Means if we have the data, get the data and return this data structure. If not, we are going to return the null here. So now where we are going to get the data here? Inside our a. Okay, if a equal to null, toast dot make text get application context, no data. I'm going to show here short. Okay, else in the else, what we are going to do, ma? So we are going to get the data into here. Already we got the data here. So adapter equal to new array adapter get application context android dot r dot layout dot select dialog item comma A. Okay, so from where you are displaying the data, so how, in what way you are going to display the data and the data structure. So this android.r.layout.select underscore dialog underscore item is an XML file which gives the information about how the data should be displayed to the user inside the list view. So once we got the adapter here, so we are going to set the adapter for the list view. We are going to set the adapter for the list view. Once we are done here, so we are just going to run the application once. Please be a bit patient because my emulator is running a little bit slow. Okay, we have already added the data before, so let me click on show here. Oh, sorry for that one. So what happened here, we did not write the code for show. Where is the show? Inside my main activity, so there is nothing here, right? So we need to create intent for navigating the screen. New intent. Where am I? I'm inside the main activity dot this comma, where we need to go, we need to go to the data activity dot class. So start of I, start activity of I. Once again run the application because we made a huge change inside the code. Obviously, see, this is the application, this is the thing we got inside the, we stored inside our database. Okay, so let me show you data activity here. Okay, see, whenever we click on that one, something should, some thing should happen, means we need to give on item click listener for list view. As we are having on click listener for our buttons, we are having on item click listener for list view. Lv dot set on item click listener, on item click listener. For the listener here we are going to use new on item click listener, new on item click listener. Now place your cursor on this one, click on import, your error will go, and use add unimplemented method so that you will get the on item click, on item click. Now what are we going to do, we are going to just simply show the data which we are having inside that. So toast dot make text get application context, toast dot length long dot show. So for this text, what we are going to display here, so lv dot get item at position of arg2, arg2. What does this mention? So we are going to use the position, this is the position, so with which user has clicked on that position, what is the item, that item will be returned here. Okay, and obviously that is not going to be a string, so we are going to convert that to a string so that our error will go. So now run the application again so that we will be able, we should be able to click the data and see something what is happening here. So click on this and there you go. Okay, if we have, we are having another data here, so something like Ravi Kiran. See, we got the data here also. Okay, and